called in
to Box and Brews, you might hear something
you can use.
like tips on your cash and tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use
smarts of these stuff.
because they know the brews.
And they know the box, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, because shit's not funny.
Save yourself some
Beer money. Bucks.
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks and brews.
Brews.
Bucks and Brews.
Welcome back to Bucks and Brews. Nick, we were out last week because somebody was sick.
Yeah, saying it wasn't me for the first time.
It was not. I had a sinus infection, an ear infection, and pink eye.
Yeah, I say. That's what happens when you fart in your pillow.
I guess so.
Say,
Jesus, it was bad.
you deserve it.
I'm getting over it, luckily,
Good.
but we can't let the people go too long without us.
That's we love to hear our beautiful voice, and we know you guys do too. So,
So
with that being said, as always, guys, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We appreciate everything you give us for feedback. And we say we are still looking for a couple people that have some topics that you want to touch on for this year.
absolutely we are. So what are you drinking, my friend?
All right. So one of our listeners who absolutely loves me, I've been very busy in life.
Yes, you have.
I mean, it's weird. You're like the only person I see, and it's because we set this up, right? Like,
you and Mike are the only ones I see, and it's because he comes and works at the business.
right? Like, but so my Jeremiah,
Yeah,
right?
love Jeremiah.
Yeah, great guy. So he ended up finding Dragon's Milk Triple Mash from New Holland, 18.7%, right?
Oh,
Yeah, he got me a 4-pack. And so we went to lunch today, and he handed me that. So it was I do miss him. I when he called, I just lit up, and I was like, man, it's funny because I've always said, hey, you just got to do it. But like, I get so busy, and I know I want to talk to him for hours, and I'm like, I should just call and say, hey, and then hang up, right?
Right.
But just busy in life. So I don't know if we've talked about it on air, but my team won regionals for
we
the
have
boys.
not talked about it on air because it was just this past weekend.
Yeah. So, and my team won regionals, so I'm off to state. I'm leaving in 2 days, and we'll go through the weekend. So, congrats to my boys. I had one individual girl and one individual boy as well make it. So
That's outstanding.
yeah, just really, really an amazing experience. I'm looking forward to this weekend.
So would you say successful first season?
Yeah, I mean, right, successful in the sense of, hey, we've gotten this far, and then I'll say successful in the culture change that I've implemented so far, right?
It's a work in progress.
A lady who tried to originally get me fired and whatever came up and shook my hand at the end of the season and said, hey, thanks for a great season, right? Like, that's when you're doing something really well.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So, I don't brag about my bowling successes. I brag about my
Cheers to you, my
person.
friend.
Thank you, sir. All my friends will have a bar tab paid for when I come home with a state championship.
There you go.
By bar tab, I mean whatever's in my refrigerator. So
Party at Nick's.
oh God, we will party. It's gonna be great.
So I have a little news
Mhm.
when it comes to coaching.
Yeah. Oh Jesus.
Is that good?
Oh man, this is
Oh, I haven't even gotten to my beer.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
this is such a good beer, such an alcohol content too.
Yeah.
But like, and mine's warm. I like these as warm beers. It's been sitting in my car. All right, for everybody that's listening, doesn't have any idea. We're from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
It is February 27th.
Yes. Currently 73 degrees. outside,
73 degrees out today.
while I'm also looking at my phone that says
Winter weather advisory
storm advisory, right? So we are going to go from 73 degrees today
to
and
30 tomorrow
34 will be our high, maybe.
at like 7 a.m.
Yeah, so we
It's 6 o'clock right now. So in the next
12 hours
13 hours, it's going to drop 40 degrees.
and we will have a shit ton of snow.
probably,
Like
yes.
we will have plows come back out.
Well, and then it's going to hit 60 again this weekend.
It's supposed to. Which, yeah, I'll be inside of a bowling alley. So
I will be inside a break room. So
Yeah.
either one of us will enjoy it.
So yeah, what are you drinking and what do you got going on for coaching?
So I was supposed to have this back right at the end of the year, and Lawrence kind of stole it from me. So I went back to Rishi's and I got another one. This is from Mobcraft Brewery, which we love Mobcraft. And I gotta say, they need to start sponsoring us because
Yeah.
we do drink a decent amount of their beers on air.
We do actually. Yeah, so the holiday pack my mom bought me
Yeah.
last year, and then we've had multiple singles of them.
This is a vanilla wafer porter.
Good.
It is delicious.
Um,
And
what else do you have?
Yeah, I should talk about the other stuff I have. So
Yeah.
from who is this from? Lexington Brewing and Distillery, a Kentucky bourbon barrel cocoa porter, and then a Gaelic ale, which I had last time on air.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, these Kentucky bourbon barrel ones, I've got like 3 different ones.
Yeah.
So this is the one I'm going to do tonight.
Gosh, why can I not think of like their number ones?
I have a tangerine and a blueberry at home.
They have like a world famous like top 5 beers of the nation. And I can't think of it for some reason. I'll figure it out eventually.
So my bit of coaching news, I'm driving yesterday and I start thinking and getting a little nostalgic.
Yep.
So I got sick, as I said, and I got sick because I'm running myself ragged. Like I have so many things to do. Monday I got coaching and work, and Tuesday I got work and podcast, and Wednesday I got work or podcast, depending on which day we do it that week.
Yeah.
Thursday I got work in break room, Friday I got work in break room, Saturday I got break room, Sunday I got break room. So I don't get downtime.
Yep.
And my body finally said 2 weekends ago, guess what? Time for downtime. And I got sick, and I basically spent 4 days in bed, not really moving much. I still did some priority work, but that weekend I did nothing but lay there and stare at the wall.
Good.
So driving to workouts, and I've been pointing towards this year as a possible ending for my coaching career.
Yep.
And I know I want to keep coaching. I've told you that before, but it has to be in a much diminished capacity. I can't keep doing winter workouts. I can't be at everything. I don't really want to do weekend tournaments anymore. I kind of want the deal that you got when you came and coached with me that one year.
Yeah.
No weekends, only Monday through Friday, only during the season. Everything else, you're on your own.
I say, but I showed up on all the weekends.
You did.
Yeah.
But
didn't have to.
right. I want that deal.
Yeah.
So
I offered it to you.
you did.
Yeah, we should.
We should take a little league team.
Dude,
That'd be
it'd
fun.
Freaking amazing.
And that's a possibility.
Yeah.
But
Like, could you see us 2 clowns out there freaking having to hate
we'd
it?
have a lot of fun. Everybody hate us.
Oh, it'd be great.
It would be awesome. So, I'm driving up there yesterday. I'm thinking back over 21 years of coaching and all the kids I coached, and how this is probably the last winter workout I will ever do.
Yeah.
Because unless I decide to head coach again someday, I'm not doing winter workouts anymore. I'm just not.
Right.
Like, even if I'm not coaching next year, if Chris called me and said, hey, I got to have somebody run them, I might go up and run one for him.
Yep.
If I, am bored. But for the most part, I need to devote my time to break room therapy. That's where the money is, and that's what's going to make us successful as a family. And I'm just at that point. I've coached a lot of kids over the years, and I love coaching them, but it's time to be a little more selfish, I guess. I need to do stuff for my family.
No.
And
Oh, dude, it takes up a shit ton of time. Like everybody thinks it's just the 3 hours or the 4 hours or whatever a day.
yeah, just a couple months out of the year.
And the problem is it's so much more than that, right?
Mhm.
I had this conversation with a kid of mine. I made a shit ton of money last year.
Mhm.
I've made $0.00 this year,
Mhm.
and we are end of February. It's because I'm devoting myself to these kids. Like I can't go try to buy a house because the time frames that people want are when I'm coaching.
Yeah.
And the things like, so it's a lot of devotion to taking, just like you, right? Like you can't be at break room, so you have to be somewhere else. And this is where you're making the big dreams and reality come through.
Well, Dawn got a phone call today from the leader of her Outpro group at the chamber.
Okay.
Hey, I'd really like you to speak on March 21st. And she goes, that's a Thursday. We're open. Unless I can get David to cover, there's no way I can do that. So I go pull up the schedule. That's our first game. We have a doubleheader.
Ain't gonna fucking happen, is it?
No.
Yep.
I'm like, you're gonna have to get Chloe. If Chloe can do it, great. If not, then I'm sorry, I can't help.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm at the point of I get to come and go as I please, even though it's the first game of the season, I can say to whoever I'm coaching with, whether it's Chris or whether I go up to Cedar and I coach with Allison, whatever. Hey, I have other commitments. I'm not going to be there.
Mhm.
And they're going to have to be okay with it. And if they're not, then I'm just not coaching.
Well, that's just it. I mean, I was ready to get back into coaching.
Mhm.
And I've been out of it so long,
Yeah, the last year you coached was with me
8 years ago.
because that was after Potter's House. Because you did Potter's House that winter, and then you came and coached with me, and you haven't coached high school since.
Correct. Yeah, I mean,
That was
just
2015.
just my daughter's soccer teams and
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? Um, the culture has changed so
Very
much.
much.
Like these kids, they've changed. Like there's so much that's changed that I've had to learn, right?
Mhm.
Like, and you know, I'm you know me, I'm a very old guy,
Yeah.
right? But I am 35. But I speak my mind and I don't hold things from these kids.
Mhm.
And
That tends to get us in trouble
it's
sometimes.
going to, right? Like, I have no problem calling somebody out for something. I had a kid who basically, he's like, "Oh, I can't do this because I have this and this." And it's like, "No, what the fuck you have is excuses and you don't have enough confidence in yourself." And that's where I didn't lead you to get to understand that, right?
Mhm.
And the difference is like I say it like that. And so like coaching, I have to like, "Oh, hey, what it really is like, dude, you got to get more confidence. You have to understand that you're good at this. Like you have to my biggest motto this year is I tell these kids, I can't believe in you more than you believe in yourself, right? It's just never going to work, right? Because I have so much faith that all of you guys can make this happen." And they're like, "Yeah, I get it." And I was like, "No, you won't, you don't yet, but you will, right?
Right.
Because you're going to get that confidence."
It's going to take time.
Yep. And so, this weekend, the only thing I told them this weekend, I was like, no matter what happens, right? I intend to win. That is my goal. Um, that is my goal, but I want them to just have a memory that's going to last forever.
And let me ask you this. So, because I know what your answer is going to be. Is there a better bowling coach than you?
Not a chance.
See, and I feel the same way. When I walk on a softball field, I'm the best coach on the field. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter that I'm Chris's assistant. I'm a better coach than him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's no knock on Chris. That's just as much as I believe in myself.
Right.
I have done my best work coaching in the last 5 years that I've been at Coopersville. And the reason is because not only have I been coaching those kids, but I've been coaching the staff.
Yeah.
And that's no knock on Chris. None whatsoever. But he's very emotional. I am not.
Right.
He is very competitive. Even though I'm competitive, I'm very realistic.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a bunch of teams that were very, very bad. And I lost a whole lot of games before I got up there.
Yep.
And it taught me that, yeah, it's important to win, but it's also more important to teach some lessons. And Chris is all about, we're building lifelong lessons here with softball, but he's also very focused on winning.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's nice to have me there to keep everybody grounded, to say that, yeah, that really sucks that we lost this game, but we can learn from it and let's, move on to the next time.
Yeah.
And those are the things I bring.
You have to win like a champion and you have to lose like a champion
Correct.
as well, right? Because no matter what, there's always going to be something. I tell these kids, I was like, look, what you do now is not how you're going to be later.
Right.
And, I was like, you look at in my bowling world, right? P. Weber, he just came out and said, look, I can't get the rev rate. I can't do this. My body's getting there. Like I can't keep up with you kids anymore.
Mhm.
And that's just the truth of how things are, right? You're going to have a prime and these kids aren't even near their prime. The women are closer than the men, right? I'll tell you that, but you're nowhere near that, right? I mean, and then as time goes on, you're going to get worse. It's going to naturally happen.
You're texting me the other day telling me how sad you are for the kids that didn't make it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I totally get it. Cause my daughter's senior year, she missed out by a few pins and I was in tears during the entire last match. And then for like 2 hours afterwards, I was just uncontrollably sobbing.
Yeah.
Cause I didn't want it to be over. And the first question I asked you is, you had one kid that missed it by 1 pin.
Yep.
Is that kid a senior? And you're like, yep. And that's absolutely fucking heartbreaking.
Mhm.
But you told me the kid's response. And that said more to me about that kid's character than if he had gone to state.
Yeah.
Ever will. Because, Caitlin was the same way. She threw her last ball and she didn't even watch it hit the pins. She went right over to Whitley because Whitley was on the verge of being knocked out.
Yeah.
And was inconsolable. And Caitlin threw her arms around her and just held her.
Yeah.
And I sat there, as sad as I was so fucking proud that Caitlin wasn't focused on the fact that, hey, I just blew my chance. She was there for her teammate.
Yeah.
And that's what I want out of the kids I coach. And she was the epitome of everything I wanted as a player.
Yeah. And that's what you hope for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's say today we're going to do a very fun episode on something we absolutely love to do. And
Yeah,
that
we're going to talk Reddit
we are
questions.
going to.
We have a listener question too.
We do. Let's say which we love. So send them in.
So I got a message yesterday from one of our listeners.
Yep.
Hey, I was offered to hop in on this Reddit stock. What do you know? So Reddit is doing an IPO.
Yeah.
And they're allowing some of their, we'll call them super users, more active users, an opportunity to buy into their IPO before others.
Yep.
And he kind of wanted to know, hey, what do you think about this? So I kind of walked through it with him. The last time we had we're getting a message on Twitch, for people wanting to,
Promote our channel and help us.
yeah, but make us pay money to do it. So we're not interested in that. And I just want to, I had to read it. So
Yeah.
now I had to tell you about it. Anyways, the last time a social media app went public was Pinterest back in 2019. Now, as I told him, for every Facebook you have that shoots way up, you have a whole lot of Twitters that don't do a hell of a lot, and then a billionaire buys them and tanks them, and they're worth dog shit now.
Yep.
Do I think that Reddit's a good bet? I think it's very volatile. I think if they haven't even announced what their price point is for their initial public offering, which is an IPO. Let's say it's $100 a share.
Yep.
Just because I like round numbers. I would expect that it shoots up to 150.
Yep.
But within, a couple months, it could be down to 50.
Easily.
It could, absolutely explode. But it could also, absolutely implode.
Correct. It is very risky to do a startup, right? It is something that, in my opinion, right, it is something to day trade.
Yeah.
But understand your risk going in. Also, one of the big things to be concerned with is, yes, you're going to public offering, right? You are going to invest. Let's say you buy, all right, 10 shares, $1,000, $1,000.
Yep.
Right. For $100 a share. Great. It's $1,000 to you and me is a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Right. To gamble. Right.
Yeah.
Let's say you're really all about this and you do $100,000, right? Which would put you at 1,000 shares, right? And so that's great. You bought 1,000 shares. You're getting it. But now, if Elon Musk decides that he's going to go buy it, and he's going to say, "Hey, I will buy your whole company, and I'm valuing it basically at $25 a share," that'll instantly, just like once it opens, it drops to 25 a share.
Yeah.
So you've lost 75% right there. When they go public, that's when big FU money comes in and says, "Hey, I'm going to buy this," because they want the value, they see it, or they want whatever. But they're buying it on pennies a dollar, but then offering, and then you get screwed on that sense. So, I don't see it coming out at that high of a share value. But if you like it, if you enjoy it, have a little fun with it, stick with it, but be prepared to sell. So my suggestion would be learn to buy and learn to sell, because that was one thing I made the mistake of. I couldn't sell after hours. But there is a way to do it. You just have to go educate yourself on that. So be prepared to get out of it ASAP, right? Because the purchase will happen at 9 p.m. at night, right? So then it plummets over time. And so keep the research on, right? Reddit's going to tell you everything that's kind of going on. Reddit's going to do this stuff. Like people are going to be smarter than you, right? Doing this and learning it and doing all that. So find the people that you trust that understand what the hell they're talking about. Follow, and make decisions, right? Again, this is a gamble, right? When it first starts, it's definitely a gamble, right? Now, if you said, "Hey, GE is going to offer me as an employee a discount to buy it," sure, like they're going to stabilize. They're going to be something for the long period of time, but be prepared to understand, hey, this has potential to make greatness. and you could risk it all. You could also lose it all.
So I want to preface this by we are not financial advisors. We're not professionals. Everything we say is our opinion. In my opinion, I would think Reddit's going to come out somewhere between 60 to 90 bucks a share. My guess. I would think that we'd get an initial spike where it will go up quickly.
Yep.
My worry is what happens 3-4 months down the road. So like Nick said, if you're willing to day trade this and you can qualify to trade this, because you also have to be qualified to be a day trader, it might be worth it to you. If you're like me and you're a buy and hold, it might be worth it to you. If you're looking to make money, you know, in the next year with this, you're probably not, this is not the risk you want to take, I would say, because it is going to be very volatile. You know, I will buy volatile stocks. I bought Reven, which is a electric car company. Which I bought it right before the most recent financials came out, which of course the most recent financials were bad, so it dropped the stock. But I bought like 3 shares. Okay, I didn't buy a ton. I bought a little bit because I'm going to hold it for the next 3-4 years. Now, if it tanks, I'm out. Let's see, it was about 25 bucks a share. I'm out 75 bucks. If it doesn't tank, and there's been rumors that GM might buy them. If GM buys them, I want to make money off of that. But again, it's all a risk. I have no problem risking 75 bucks. Am I risking 1,000 or 100,000? Probably not.
Right. You know, and so my suggestion, again, my suggestion is just do research as much as you can. If they haven't told you, right, I don't know if they want you to commit to something, but they can't ask you to commit to something without giving you a price, right? But yes, tell them that you're interested and then keep doing the research on it, right? You're going to get a discount for being one of the first in there, right? They usually do that. So it's almost, it's a better thing to get in the beginning if you're going to do it than doing it day of and then buying and having to do the sale, right? And I think one thing, and this is opinion again, as we said, this is opinion. Okay, Redditors, you guys are the fucking greatest people out there. Like,
seriously,
look at what you did to GameStop, right? Like, so if everybody gets behind it, like this is what it really is about. So everybody gets behind it. If you see all this chatter and saying people are doing it, believe the fact that they're going to do this, right? Run with it, go with it. But if you see, hey, no, this is going to be really stupid and people are not, like, don't do this, right? Because they're gonna look for the easy way out. So if you have the people that are showing, and honestly, I don't use Reddit anywhere near what you do, which isn't much.
And I don't use it a ton.
You're not a super, like,
no, I'm not a super user.
I didn't get invited to super, right? So like the person that's a super user, you're going to have so much more knowledge than David and I, right? Like you got invited, we did not. So you're going to be in this stuff. You're going to be doing this.
Well, again, what do we use Reddit for? We use it for show content. We use it for Am I the Asshole? Because that's always fun.
Oh God, yes.
I use it for the anti-work subreddit. I love that. I love the Grand Rapids subreddit because again, I can get in there and find out, you know, stuff going on in the city I might not know about. So I mean, there are things I use it for, but if I spend 10 minutes a day on Reddit, it's probably a lot. I spend way more time on TikTok.
Yeah, I say all my Reddit usually comes from TikTok, and then you'll send me a Reddit, and
you're not going to read it.
Usually read it.
Yeah, you're not going to read it. If it's short and quick, or if it's got a picture, I know there's a good chance you might read it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like that's usually it.
But if it's a long story, you're never reading that long story. I got to wait for it to hit TikTok where somebody's reading it to you.
Exactly. Somebody's going to read to me, or if by chance you hit me while I'm on a drive and I hand my phone to my wife and say, hey, could you read this to me? And I love it because my wife will read me this whole thing. I'll give my opinion. We'll have, it's a great conversation starter.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just like what we do on this, right? But like, say I don't, you know, even tonight's one of my first things, tonight's topic, like I didn't read all the subreddit things, right? Like I read the person's responses and then I scrolled to find the next person's response because that's just not how my brain works. Like I've tried to go onto Reddit to like fix my vehicle or whatever, right? And it's just, I can't do it. Like everybody has their opinion, and it's so many. I don't like a million. I want it like we're YouTube. It's
I want to go to
this,
YouTube.
This is how the fuck it fixes. This is what it is. Boom, there it is. Fucking done. So, Yeah, that's how I work, right?
So I've told you before how broke I am.
Yeah,
I bought that 3D printer.
yeah.
I splurged on it
Say,
because mine's starting to have a few issues here and there, and I'm sure it can be fixed if I get Jim to look at it.
yeah.
Okay, but
What'd you spend?
under 1,600,
Oh,
But-
fuck, that's a lot of money.
1,580.
That's a lot of money. I want to get one for like $200.
It, I mean, I'll sell you my old one.
Does it work?
It works. I need to get Jim to fix some of the settings. I mean, if you're really interested, we'll talk.
Because I have mine that I bought from somebody who fucked me over, and he's
Yeah.
like, "You got to throw it together," and so I did, and it's just not working. And I was like, "Great, asshole, thanks." Like,
So the one I bought it's literally top of the line.
really?
Yeah, and it can do up to 16 different color combinations. So it'll hold 4 different filaments.
No shit. They've changed so much because like back in
So
the day, it
much,
used
yeah.
to only be like one color,
One.
right? Like you, and if you changed, it would make a break in it and stuff like that.
Yeah, so this one
That's amazing.
is just fucking phenomenal. I'll show you some of the stuff I printed this week. So
Yeah.
I got it on Saturday. I set it up on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I started printing some stuff. So I'm selling some stuff at Break Room Therapy. Like I have the Fuck You Duck.
Yeah.
I have some axolotls that I sell here. Not very expensive, just
A couple bucks a piece.
yeah, like $5 for a duck, $8 for an axolotl.
Mhm.
Affordable, but people like them, so they're gonna buy them.
Yep.
Fine, whatever. I printed a Star Wars sign today that you can put a little light in, and I did it in glow in the dark filament.
Oh, sweet.
And I figured, okay, you can put that on the wall with a little light,
Yeah.
and it'll look fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna go on your wall, your daughter's wall.
Absolutely.
All the things you're gonna give away, you're definitely not selling those.
No, and I told Christy because I was talking about it today. So I printed one of the ducks in 3 colors yesterday:
Okay.
white, orange, and black, so that I didn't have to paint it.
Oh, sweet.
So it took the print from an hour for just a 1-color duck to 5.25
Hours?
Yes, and it took the cost from about 60 cents to $1.80.
Okay.
So it like tripled the cost of
Yep.
the actual item.
Yep.
And I told Dawn, I'm like, I think it's really cool. I'll paint the fucking thing.
Sure.
I'll save the extra $1.20. I'll just paint it. It's fine. I'm going to keep the one I did in 3 colors for myself. So if I'm doing multiple colors, that's probably something for me or a friend that they're like, hey, I really want this.
Yep.
And I mean, this thing. So my ducks take me 4 hours and 15 minutes to print on my old printer. On this one, it takes me 1 hour and 10.
Oh, so you're gonna cut down a shit ton of time.
Huge.
But at 4:15 and you were fine with that, I honestly don't think you should paint because you're used to that time frame and you're not selling mass quantities.
I sell a decent amount,
I mean,
And my thought is-
what are we talking?
about $80 a month.
Which is okay, so that's sorry, math is not my forte right now.
Divided by 5, 8 divided
Right.
by 5 is, I don't know, like 16.
Is it? Yeah. Because you have 50, yeah, so 16. And it would take you, and one duck takes 5.5 hours,
But I mean, it takes me
but you had 4
maybe 5 minutes to print it or
to paint it.
to paint it. I paint the legs, the beak, and I do Sharpie on the eyeballs. I just, put a dot on the eyeballs.
Okay.
So I mean, it doesn't take much time at all. And I have all the paint.
No, I say it's just you're only gaining, I say you're losing money and losing time. So at that point, yeah, I guess it makes sense. But I mean, if you were to be selling them a shit ton, I would change my mind. But if you're doing,
If I
you're only
was
doing
selling
16,
yeah, if I was selling 100 or 200 a month,
right.
I'm probably just going to print multiple in the colors and then it's just done.
Yep. So,
But I mean, the axolotl that I print, it used to take over 6 hours.
yeah.
And now it takes 1 hour and 10 minutes.
No shit.
Yeah. So I mean, it flies.
Okay. So I don't do Star Wars,
Mhm.
but I really want the Yoda candy dish.
Like the one that we have downstairs, where it's the big foam Yoda and it holds the dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I want one of those things. So anyway, but I gotta figure. So anyway, I'm really enjoying my beer. I'm enjoying this conversation. So
I'm gonna.
we need to get somebody on. Hey, everybody that's still with us, please let us know anybody that has a 3D printing company, and we'd like to talk to you. I was just filling up gas down the road. There's a laser engraving company who I'd like to talk to them. I want to figure out how they got to where they are, what we can do better, things like that. So
We've used them
Yeah, of course.
for a couple things.
So, we want to figure out these small businesses that can turn into something great. And I think 3D printing's, it's funny because every time I go to Comic Cons and stuff, I see 3D printers there and I'm like, yeah, dude, you're just doing the same shit that everybody else fucking does.
That's what I just printed.
All right, that's freaking awesome.
So these are some of the designs I saved.
Yeah. That's all right, there you go. That's great.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they just have some really cool stuff.
I like the thing for your fridge. So
Oh, I'm printing that so
Yeah.
that I can put a whole bunch of beers in. If you want one, let me know.
I do actually.
So here's the question I have for you, because of course we go off on tangents here in Bucks and Brews. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Do you want it in glow in the dark? Do you want it in a marble? Or would you like it in a color? I do not have purple yet.
Well, let me ask my wife what she wants because it's gonna go in the fridge.
Right.
Actually, I'm gonna have you print me some stuff. You just don't know it yet.
Okay.
So we'll talk off air. So we'll get back to topic just for you guys.
I-
Because glow in the dark in the fridge is kind of stupid.
Yeah, because you're not really going to see it.
Right, ever. My fucking
Yeah,
light comes
literally.
on. So
So,
Uh,
by the way, I sent a text to the listener that sent in that question.
Yeah.
I said, hey, we're talking in the first 20 minutes. We talked about your question, and he sent a text back. He goes, I wondered if you would.
Yeah.
Well, of course we are.
we always, guys, like we fulfill your questions faster than we fulfill because we get so excited. We
do.
want to. But
Give that a try.
yeah,
I have not tried it yet.
You're more than welcome to go off of
Oh, thank
that side. This triple mash is amazing. So
That is very, very high alcohol.
yeah,
What do you think? I've not tried it
I
yet.
say it's kind of weird. So it's a cocoa, but like it. All right, I must have gotten a little bit ahead, but like it tasted creamy.
Oh, it's
like,
very
like,
creamy.
like vanilla and cream, and so
Oh, yeah.
it was just kind of weird to me. Wasn't expecting that off of what it is. Because it's just a bourbon barrel cocoa.
It is.
And honestly, so it tastes like a. Okay, so when I have a lot of cocoa things, a lot of times I find that it tastes more dark chocolate, right,
Yes.
than it does a
Like a
milk,
milk
chocolate,
chocolate.
or a white chocolate, right?
Right.
This hints towards like that milk / white
Yeah.
chocolate. It's not, and sometimes like what happens in beers is like you get that burned chocolate flavor. This doesn't have that. It's
No.
actually really nice. It comes through.
Very mellow.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. So, yeah, thank you for letting me try it. Bourbon County's a great beer, or great brewery. Again, this triple mash is, I'm just really enjoying it.
Can we go off on another tangent?
If you'd like,
So one of the things that you and I love on TikTok
yeah,
is the Savannah bananas.
we absolutely love the Savannah bananas.
They're going to be in Indianapolis the end of June.
I'm very excited. Like we're talking about this.
I think we're going to make a road trip.
All right, can you buy tickets still?
Yeah.
Because it sells out like in minutes.
I think tickets are still available.
Okay.
I'm willing to drive.
Oh yeah. I'm willing to figure out how to drink and call it a day.
I'm so excited.
I love the business practice. I love what they started, why they do it, when they do it. Like he took it and
Are you good with a Thursday?
I'll make it happen. When is it again?
Right at the end of June. The last Thursday in June. If you're good, I'll go buy tickets.
Yes. Last Thursday in June. Guys, this is how my life works. I literally have to use my calendar. Last Thursday, the 27th, I'm in.
Okay.
I'll be back from camping. I will. Yep. And
I'll ask Caitlin if she wants to go. And
uh,
if she does, great. And if not, then it's me and you.
okay. So, but like I followed so much since the beginning. I followed
so
so much
fun.
about them. I love the idea that the fans are fucking involved when you catch a foul ball and it's an out because the fans caught it. I mean, like I can't wait to be in the atmosphere where everybody against them just moves out of the way because we're so used to wanting to catch the ball.
Mhm.
Now we fucking move, right? Savannah banana. Oh, we're catching that ball, baby. Like
Yeah.
the stunts and the it's meant for, and they have the only thing that bothers me is because I want to see so much more is they have a time
They do.
stamp, right? Like, hey, it's an hour and a half,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. Like
That's all you
yeah,
get.
that's all you get, and like you're done.
Which sucks because they do so many theatrics.
Yeah.
They really need a little longer.
Right. And it's like, I swear to me, it's like, oh man, you're only doing like a 4-inning game, right? So because I'm so used to old baseball,
Mhm.
but their pitch clock, the umpire that they have, I'm jealous that They
you would totally fucking do
they
that.
found him versus me,
Yeah.
right? Like tell me I was not at that umpire, right?
Yeah.
I'm back there shaking my booty when these girls are doing their little chants, and I'm like, here we go. Like, yep. But that was me, man. Like, I had such a blast umpiring. Granted, I turned you down all the time.
All the time.
Because
Call my grandpa.
right. Fuck, I'm out. But like given the opportunity to do something like this where you have to be serious, but you can still be you.
Yeah.
And that is where it's at, right? Like I really yes, I want to go. Yes, buy tickets, let me know, let's go.
So I'm going to tell you people, I mean, we're 35 minutes in. We are going to get to Reddit questions, but we have a whole lot of things to talk about because it's been a while.
Yeah.
So
2 weeks to us is like fucking million years to you guys.
the eye candy calls me yesterday.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm going to fuck my birthday up.
Uh-oh.
He turns 50 this year.
Yeah, it's in my phone.
It is.
Yes. We talked about it together.
We
without
did.
him.
We did.
So
he tells me that he has an option to go to a city that he's always wanted to visit for work. So work will pay for him to go.
okay.
San Antonio.
Oh,
And I'm like, dude, if you got to take that option, take it. When would you leave? He goes, well, I have to be there on my birthday on the 6th. So I'm thinking the 4th or the 5th. And I'm like, well, I mean, I would rather you go the 5th
right.
because I can't see you on your
May the
birthday
4th, yeah,
anyways.
exactly.
And we're supposed to do a bunch of shit on the 4th. And he's like, well, I'm kind of leaning towards the 5th. I'm like, great. If you go the 5th, that's great because that still gives us time to go troop free comic book day.
Yep.
And then we're at Apoptosis later in the day. I said, Nick's talking about coming down to Apoptosis.
Yeah.
And Mike's answer to me is, as long as I don't have to drive anywhere and I can get as drunk as I want, then we're good. And I'm like, all right, well, worst comes to worst, we'll just take a fucking Uber. I don't give a shit.
Dude, one time, once a year that I have to go back to Grant, he probably let me stay on his couch too. Right?
Well, that's just it. We can just go back to his place, whatever.
We'll end up at Steve's.
Yeah.
Say, Hendy will be like, I'll be in Hendy's bar, and he'll be like, oh, Nick, didn't even know you were here.
I'm literally going to send Steve a message and say, hey, we're going to be drinking here
Yeah.
on this day. Come join us.
Yeah. No, so that'd be great. Just keep me in the loop. Let me know.
I will, because I'm really looking forward to May the 4th.
Yeah.
We can do Star Wars and then we can go drink.
It's so funny because Star Trek Day to me is always something I make fun of David.
Fuck
and,
you, dude.
and it's one of my favorite days to just make fun of all the people because they know I love them, right?
Yeah.
Like I make fun of them because I don't watch it. And we do have to reach back out to it's not Tardies. I'm so sorry. Tribs.
Yeah,
Tribs, because I owe an apology.
you
right?
do, because you did not watch any Star Trek.
Not a single fucking episode.
We do need to have Trips back on.
Yes.
He went on a Carnival cruise
Did he really?
and he has opinions
Okay.
and he would like to come on air and talk about those opinions.
I would absolutely love to know the difference between cruises and things like that.
I
Have
would
him on.
too.
And guys, you guys have listened to Tribs before, and he's an outgoing guy, right? Like really he is.
Opposite of me.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Like, and it's fun because he doesn't take things too far.
Yeah.
And even when we drink, like, cause trust me, you fucking know. Like, it's funny because you're a White Sox or
Cubs fan.
a Cubs fan,
Yes.
right? A Chicago fan. Like I am a diehard
Detroit fan.
Detroit fan.
Yeah,
like
totally.
right,
Everything Detroit.
and I fucking hate the Yankees.
Oh yeah.
Like,
And he
Trib-
loves the
Tribs-
Yankees.
but like.
But he's a New York guy.
Exactly, right? But like him and I can banter back and forth and have such a good time doing it where we don't disrespect each other. And that's the stuff I love, right? I love getting to that point to where it's just, hey, F you, right?
Yeah.
Like, but at the end of the day, we will hug it out and we will drink beers together and just enjoy the moment, right? So David, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What is the best financial life hack?
The best financial life hack. So I have a feeling this is the question you looked in earlier and people were giving a whole bunch of things. So I have a few.
Go on.
So one of the things I love is the rewards credit cards.
Shit. Not the first thing I thought would come out of your fucking mouth. Holy shit. Excellent. All
Okay,
right, go on.
I
No,
don't want to know right now, but I do want to know what the first thing you thought was going to come out of my mouth was. Not yet.
No,
So I love the rewards credit card. So like I have a Wells Fargo card that I got in the last couple of years, 2% on everything.
Yep.
I have a Capital One Quicksilver, 1.5 on everything. I have a Saver Capital One card, which is, I want to say 4% on restaurants, I think, 3% on all streaming services, and then like 1% on everything else.
Right. sorry, guys, this isn't off tangent. It's still on topic. How do they know what's considered a restaurant and what's not? So if I go to Adesanya Mead, which has food,
They will probably say that's not a restaurant
why?
because they're stupid.
But that's see that like okay, this is you guys ask why I don't have a credit card. I want to be clear on this because I find that it's not worth my time to call stupid people and tell them how stupid they are. Right? Because I would, David, I'd be like you with your credit card company
Yeah.
in the last episode we talked about. Like, dude, I would call up every fucking like, no, I ate a fucking pizza. I ate a goddamn Reuben. I ate this. Like,
They'll say it's not a restaurant
Right.
for some fucking stupid
and
reason.
this is what and like I would just instantly cancel because that's who I am as a person.
You learn quickly what qualifies and what doesn't. So,
I
For
I don't want to learn quick. No,
for
you
example-
said, and I quote, it's a restaurant.
for example,
I'm gonna grab another beer.
go ahead. So the Saver card will give you money on streaming services back, but streaming services have a qualification. So I had, and it wasn't only streaming services; it was streaming services and I believe cellular. So I had YouTube TV on there, and YouTube TV would, for whatever reason, I would not get the 3% back. So
And that's $100 a month or 70.
yeah, it's $70 a
Yeah.
month. So 3% back on that's a lot, but they're only giving me one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just switch it to a different card. So they'll do things like that, which royally piss me off. So at that point, I'm like, fuck it, I'll just, instead of getting 1%, I'll get 1.5. I may not like it, but whatever, fine.
No, like, and see, I would not be okay with it because you said, and I quote, you get this on this, and I would be just so
I mean, I
pissed
can
off.
fight that, but they are never going to let that shit fly.
And I understand, but like that's why I don't do it because it's just like it would drive me.
That is really good.
Yes, it would drive me.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
Yeah, thank you, bud. I even told him I was like, I'll share it with you. He's like, I don't do beer, and I was like, I know this, but like, dude, you need to because like this is
What does he do?
what you do for a different company, but also IT.
No. Drinking wise.
Oh, bourbons and yeah, whiskeys.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Because we're coming up on the summer. Tangent time. Mike was complaining because we were supposed to do an episode at Apoptosis.
Yep.
And we're supposed to do an episode at Beer Exchange. And we were supposed to go to Brewery Outre. Outre. By the way, if we do Apoptosis for the 4th, at 6 we're going over to Beer Exchange.
Okay. You win.
I figured I would.
I can't again, my opinion is based off of what I like again for years and years I built this thing up to like the greatest moments of my life and then was just heartbroken. I'm not gonna lie to you.
6 o'clock
Yeah.
starts the exchange.
Say.
But anyways, so I told Mike, I'm like, we are actually going to do some more remotes this year.
Yes.
We're hoping because we're hoping just to have time.
We just have like the problem is like this like and Mike, like it's not you, it's us. David coaches softball, which is summer.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I coach bowling. Like we can barely make it to here. Right?
Seriously.
Like
It's hard.
Yeah, like and so I'm meeting up with a friend of mine to do a loan tomorrow night, and I haven't told my wife that I won't be home tomorrow night, the night before I leave for 3 fucking days for my family. But I have to keep my business moving.
Well, and at the same time, I mean, I want to bring up your wife for a minute.
Love her to pieces.
Because when we had our Valentine's Day episode,
Yeah.
the last episode we did,
Yeah.
my wife bitched and moaned that they let us come and do this, which there's no letting, but whatever.
Right. I stopped. I did. I broke.
No, hang on. We dedicated that episode to them.
Yep.
Have you heard anything from your wife about the dedication?
No.
No, me either.
No.
Because they've never listened to it. They don't give a shit.
Correct. But I will tell you, I stopped at Walgreens. And here's the fucking thing. Okay, my wife knows I do not celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I stopped at Walgreens and first thing out of her mouth. So I bought her The Bachelor. It had a box. So it was a fake rose
Okay.
and a chocolate, right? Or some chocolates. Just so you people know who I am, I'm a romantic through and through, right? The first time I ever bought my wife something, I'd buy her a bunch of roses. I'd buy her 11 roses and one fake one. And I wrote her a card that said, I'll stop loving you when the last one dies.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's the kind of things I'm going to do.
I
right?
used to be that way, but then I
Right.
stopped.
But like, so right, you know what her first fucking question out of her mouth was?
What?
Is it already 50% off?
She knows you well.
Like, I love her to pieces. It was like, no, I paid full fucking price. You're welcome. Because I knew I'd been gone, dude. And honestly, like again, it goes back to coaching. I'm not bitching, but the time commitment
Yeah.
from my family is so
It's huge.
much. And then I try not to bring it home, but I do. Like, I'm not gonna lie about that, right?
So another tangent before I get back to
Yeah.
your question earlier. I'm sitting there thinking about it. So I think we can win districts this year again,
Yeah.
which puts us into regionals,
Okay.
which if everything falls the way I think it should be us and Oak Ridge in the regional finals. We've taken them the last 2 years.
Mhm.
So if we can beat them, we'll go to the quarterfinals. But
Yeah.
if not, my season's going to end on a Saturday. And in 21 years, my wife's been at more games than she has not been at.
Yep.
And if this is it for me,
Mhm.
that last game, I'm going to be alone.
I'll be there.
I won't have my daughter or my wife, which I've spent more time on the field with those two
Yeah.
than literally everybody, including Marv.
Yeah.
I mean, I coached with Marv for 13 years.
Yeah.
I've spent more time with my daughter and my wife, and neither one of them will be there when I decide to, hang up my shoes, cleats, whatever.
Dude, you ask me all the time, like, hey, will you come umpire? It wasn't the same without my grandfather.
Oh, totally.
I did it because of him. And I will never forget that last day, right?
Mhm.
Like it was, I started when I was 12 years old
Yeah.
umpiring. I finished when I was 18-ish. I umpired, like I slowed down 17 to 18, right? Like my girlfriend, wife now, she supported it, right? Like, but then my life got in the way. But like, but it also didn't feel the same.
No,
right? Like
it never does.
when you're umpiring with your best friend,
Mhm.
right? Like people are like, no, this was my hero. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do is sit here and look at my grandfather and do nothing in life.
Let me ask you something. All the men in your life.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that's ever been more impactful than Archie?
Not a chance.
He was
In the positive way and the negative way.
Yeah, but he was the most impactful one you've had.
Oh, 100%.
See, and when I sit there and I look, so like I made that post yesterday.
Yeah.
And
You
one person commented twice.
because he's a fucking dick. But yes, I wanted to drive and give you a hug.
But
Say,
the most impactful man in my life
yeah,
in 46 years
yeah,
is Steve Henderson.
100%.
It's not fucking close.
No,
It is just not. Steve is going to come up and be on another episode because he's been talking to me about how much fun he has.
oh yes.
But he really wants his bartender to be here, so Caitlin has to be available.
Or we can go to him.
I've
being
said
there.
that too, but he had so much fun coming up here.
All right.
So the man, for lack of better terms, he's a father to me.
Of course.
He is what I aspire to be as a man. And he will tell you all the time, he fucked up so many times, and he did this wrong, and he did that wrong, and he did the other thing wrong.
Yep.
The man's always done right by me.
Mm-hmm.
He made me feel important when I might not have been important. He made me feel heard when I was not heard. He made me feel things that no other person ever made me feel.
Yeah.
He literally is the best man I know.
Yep.
Because he took a chance on a snot-nosed 14-year-old that didn't know shit.
Right.
And he said, hey, you're important. It doesn't fucking matter that maybe nobody else thinks you're important. I think you're important.
But you're it. Right.
And that's the greatest thing to me.
People don't realize this. You were at my wedding.
Mm-hmm.
No?
You did not invite me to your wedding.
Oh yeah, because we just barely known each other.
We knew each other through softball. That was it.
I got married young. My grandfather was one of my best men.
Yeah.
Right? Like people don't understand this. Like I was at the bakery 12 houses from his house today.
Yeah.
And I knew I only had 30. And again, it goes back to the Jeremiah comment.
Mm-hmm.
I only had 30 minutes until I had to go to the bowling alley when I was comfortable enough. And I didn't go over there just to say, hey, right. And I should have just fucking walked in and been like, hey, and he'd be like, hey, bud. How's it going? Staying out of trouble? Nope. Good. All right. And we would have sat there and just watched TV, but like I didn't do it. Right. And I regret today
Yeah.
because I didn't fucking do it. But tomorrow, I'm planning to go over there. Choppy video. Sorry about that.
This is Tribs.
Tribs. We were just talking about it.
I sent him a message. I said, hey, we're talking about you. Tribs, we don't know how to fix that. Sorry.
Yeah, I say when it comes to video, we're out on that.
It'll be way better. Here, hang on. Tribs, you have the link. Join us.
Please do. They say we'll change the whole entire topic.
Yeah,
right now.
seriously.
Right here, right now. So really, but like people don't understand this. Like my 5 groomsmen, one of them was my grandfather, right? Because he is the best human in my life.
Yeah.
People hated him, people loved him, right? Like
I loved your grandpa.
right. So the thing is like you hated how low he called the balls, but he called them all the same constantly.
Here's the thing about your grandfather. So when I was a young coach,
Young stupid ass.
starting out,
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Yep. He would teach you.
This man would sit there and take time with me
Yeah.
and say, hey, you can't do that. And I'd go, but everybody else lets me.
Yeah.
And he would go, yeah,
It's
it
not
doesn't
me.
matter.
Say.
It's, you can't do this.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, all right, well, teach me what the hell I can do. And he would literally sit there and take time
Yeah.
to teach me what I can and can't do.
Yeah. It's funny because my grandfather was just, okay. So it's funny because I say things all the time, right?
Uh-huh.
And I tell everybody, I was like, look, I was raised in 2 ways, or, I had 2 choices in life, right? And those 2 choices, because tomorrow we're talking about snow. Okay, so guys, we started this at 73 degrees. It's down to 69.
In a little bit, it's going to be down to 32.
Right. But I will tell you, like, you had 2 choices,
Mhm.
right? One, you can go shovel the driveway. 2, I could beat the shit out of you, and then you're gonna go shovel the driveway, right? Like
Yeah.
that was my grandfather's mentality. Like I grew up I'm old because my grandfather raised me. My parents did not
Right.
raise me.
Right.
My grandparents raised me.
Yes.
Right. And that is who I am. That is why I'm the way I am. That is everything about me. Like I'm a stronger human being because the man that raised me. Like
Yeah.
it's funny because everybody that goes, hey, I know if you're older than a certain age, like, okay, you are the only exception.
Okay.
Anybody 40 and above,
Huh?
if they go, hey, how's your dad doing? I go, he's doing really well. And I know they're all talking about Archie.
Archie, all of them.
Everybody but you.
Yeah.
Because
I
you,
will ask you, I'll go, how's grandpa?
you know the difference.
Or I'll ask you, how's
With
Archie?
Archie, right? You know the difference. Not a single
If-
other human being.
I want to tell you right now, if you go see your grandpa tomorrow,
Yeah.
tell him I said hey.
Oh, I will.
Because
Yeah.
I love the shit out of him.
Dude, I will. Yeah. So you should come over too. But
He is, again,
and honestly,
as a young softball coach that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing,
yeah,
that man helped me more than probably any other umpire I ever met.
most people. It's funny. I'm watching somebody I respect on TikTok.
Okay.
And it's great because he does plays
Mhm.
and he'd be like, hey, what's the call?
Yeah.
And I'm wrong sometimes, which is not something I'll ever admit to.
Right.
But like, a ball hit up the middle, the kid's standing on second base, but it hits him.
Okay.
There's no force. What's the call?
He's safe.
No,
It hit him.
no, you're absolutely fucking wrong.
He's out.
100%. Like David,
He's
like,
on the base.
no, base isn't Gould. This isn't fucking tag.
He's on the base.
No, it's not like, no, it is fucking runner interference. That ball should have got to the fucking thing.
Oh,
He could have been gone. Like it is fucking runner's interference. I knew this answer. I called this answer. He confirmed this is the answer by the rule because like this guy like reads the rule and he goes, holy shit, most people don't answer this.
I would have
Exactly,
totally
you've been
argued
wrong.
the shit out of that.
No, if the ball hits you and you didn't,
I'm going to tell you right now, I would have bullied an umpire into believing.
I know.
Right.
And I would have called you wrong and I would have told you how stupid you were. We would have shaken hands at
Yeah.
the end of the day and your wife would have come out here and called me whatever.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, hey, I'm sorry, your fucking husband's a retard. Right? I shouldn't say that, right?
You should not. That's not a good word.
But I will tell you, right? Like plain and simple. Like
Stunt it. We're gonna say stunted.
I'm sorry, your husband's stupid.
Yeah.
Say, but and it's funny because I would stick by my guns 100%. And if you want to go turn me into the whoever is above me, Curtis, say, what was his name? It was Curtis something.
Fuck if I know.
Yes, he had the hitting club down on
Oh yeah, Curtis Morgan.
Curtis Morgan.
Yeah.
Right. If you want to turn me to Curtis Morgan, because Curtis, like for the first time ever, like I hated the guy because he was a horrible payer.
Horrible. He would just never pay.
Right. But trust me, you know why I tracked down the money I tracked down?
Because he owed your grandpa.
Archie and I fucking yep. And grandpa's like, hey, you go walk the 20 stairs and you look that man in the face and you tell him, hey, I've done these games, you owe me money.
Yep.
And I would walk my butt up there and here I am, at the time, 5 foot something, right? Like chubby boy, but nothing crazy, right? Like I was fitting.
You weren't as big as you are now.
I'm a 1X shirt at this time.
You were not 6 something.
Right. Like, hey, grandpa and I have done 12 games for you. We want money. Look, you can walk outside and tell him yourself, or you can just write the check. Oh, your grandpa's downstairs? I'll write that check for you. Okay. Right. But like grandpa wouldn't like you offered and dude, it's funny because my grandfather, like we do you know how much we got paid from him? Like what is it?
$40 a game, maybe?
Fuck you.
20 bucks a game. Yeah.
Right. So and dude, you would text me all the time. $43 for the game. I'm like, dude, that's double plus what I'm getting paid. I'd turn you down all the time. But he'd pay us $20 a game. He would guarantee us a double header, which is $40.
If we played in his league,
Oh yeah,
it would cost us $750.
I know he pocketed a shit
When
ton.
I decided to break out on my own,
Yeah,
for the entire fall, it cost us $180
Yep.
because we would pay $30 a game.
Yep.
Each team.
Yep.
So the umpire would get $60 total, 30 from each coach.
You guys wouldn't pocket a thing.
No, we
You
just wanted to
You
play.
didn't have to rent the fields.
We played at like Kellogg'sville or
Yeah.
whatever.
Let's say, it wasn't Kellogg'sville. It was
Kellogg's Woods Park.
Kellogg's Wood. Yeah, which was my top 2 favorite memories of my life. I will tell you the thing over there. So I umpire 7 o'clock game. Don't quote me on all this.
Okay.
Right, a 7 o'clock game, a 9:45 game, right? Whatever it is, an 11 something game, and then John Edgerly, F him,
Yep.
goes, hey, I need somebody to go to Kellogg's Woods and coach a boys baseball
Umpire.
state final.
Yeah.
Yeah, umpire a state next level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Young and dumb, full of fucking hunger. Yeah, I got you. So me and the other guy. And it's funny because the other guy who volunteered was a guy who I bought tickets to the Tigers game for $5 a piece because he had season tickets.
Yeah.
He'd given to me 90% of the time. If I wanted to go on a weekend, $5.
Yeah.
Okay. Eric was the son. Kevin was the dad.
Yep.
Kevin was an amazing man. Took care of me. Took care of my family. Right. But like we'd go. And so Eric and I go, David, ball pops up.
Yeah.
Man on first and second. 1 out. Ball pops up in the air.
Whereabouts?
I'm going to say what looked to me as right behind shortstop's head.
Still in the dirt.
I thought.
Infield fly. Batters out.
Shortstop takes 1 foot, puts it on the grass in the outfield.
Fly.
In the outfield.
Infield fly. Batters out.
I call it infield fly, batters out.
Yeah.
And get lynched by this coach. And I said, look, do you think I understand geometry or trigonometry to figure out where that ball is going to land? I was like, that wind could have taken it. It could have done anything in the world. I'm sorry your player took 1 step and caught it like this.
Close enough.
But that is an infield fly.
Yeah.
through and through.
It's a judgment call.
Yep. So he fights it so often, so long. So I call timeout. I go talk to my umpire. He goes, "Look, I'm sticking with my call." And I was like, "I didn't come out here to talk about that." I said, "Look, I want to see if you want to give warnings to these coaches, because mind you, John Edgerly, here's where he comes into play."
Yeah.
So again, I go coach this I go umpire at 1:00. What time do you think their game started?
3.
Nope, their game was supposed to start at 10:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
No umpires. So I show up to already irate people who have no umpires,
And are just beyond pissed off.
and I make this call, which is the most close call I've ever made in my life. And then I think I threw the pitcher out because he said some things to me, and I threw the coach out at the same time.
Mhm.
That was the one I told you about, right? I said, "No more words." And he goes, and then puts his hands on his hip to run it up. And I said, "See ya, get out, bye, have a good day. I don't need this."
Yeah.
Right. And it was funny because he goes, dude, I'll remember that day for the rest of my life. Archie's coached, umpired. He umpired for my grandfather. Oh man, my grandfather umpired for like 40 years.
Yeah.
Okay, 40 years of his life.
Yeah.
It was huge run. He's thrown out like 1, maybe 2 in his life. I've thrown out 5, and I've umpired for 1/16 of the time.
I
Right?
mean, you threw out one when I was there, so
Yeah,
I'm just happy about
right?
that.
Like insane. It was funny because I was ready to, like, it's funny because as an umpire, you're not allowed to, but like I was ready to swing.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. Hey, here I am. Dude, at the time, I knew your wife.
Yeah.
I barely knew her.
Yeah, you didn't know her well. You just kind of knew her.
I am 18, 19 years old. A hothead of then.
Well, it was 2009.
Was it?
Yeah.
I graduated in 07 at like 17 to 18. So yeah, I'm
Sure.
18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
Right? Hothead Nick.
Yeah.
Hothead Nick. Like also 6'1" Nick now.
Yeah.
Going against
You were
a 5 foot
big man.
Oh yeah. Like, cool, let's do this. But right. No, you don't get to come talk to me.
Well, and I remember Marv behind me. He goes, "Do you want me to go get her?" And I'm like, "Get who? Everybody's in front of me." And I turn around and my wife's between the two of you.
And,
And she's as big as he is.
oh yeah. And it's funny because your wife says whatever I didn't hear it. All I know is your wife is 3/4 of the way back. And he says bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And I turn on my heels right then, right there.
Yeah.
Walk back straight in front of this guy. And I said, "I will lay your ass out so fucking fast. Your kids will literally just laugh at you for how small you are as a human being. And if you want that, that's completely fine. Say one more word." And you know me. Again, is a word to me.
Yes.
And I looked at him and I said, "Do it. Do it right now. Please let me know, because I will not." I might have been 17. I don't know. I was like, "I will not get charges." I was like, "This is going to be," and I remember saying so much to him, and he just stops, turns, goes, "Girls, get off the field," whatever. And I turn and I look at your wife and I barely know her. And I said, I don't remember what I said, but it was something along the lines, "I'm sorry, nobody will ever talk to you that way again."
Yeah,
Right? Like,
yeah.
granted, you might, that's fine. But like, now we're friends. But like, oh, baby. My grandfather raised me like that. Right?
Yeah.
Like my grandfather, you will protect this. You
Yeah.
will do this. And I get into the van because my grandparents had the freestyle, the Ford freestyle, right? It's red, had a big American stuff with a bald eagle in the back. They were the proudest people in the world to have that on the back of their van. And I want nothing more to go buy him another one for,
Yeah.
for his new car. And my grandma goes, "I'm proud of you, son. Best thing you've ever done."
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. Like I knew what I did was right, right?
Yeah.
To the people I was right with. Right?
Again, you just need the people that care about you the most and you care about the most to validate those
100%,
feelings.
right? Like and it's funny because every time I coached you after we
Yeah.
knew each other,
Yeah.
that was a dick to you.
Mhm.
I'm not afraid to admit it. Was a complete dick to you.
Every kid I had
Lubbers?
that you knew,
Yeah.
you would be a dick to.
100%. Lubbers?
Michelle Edlin,
Oh yeah, 100%.
she would sit there and go, "I don't like him. He threw Winnie the Pooh and
Yeah, in the basket.
yeah,
Yeah. But that was a different story. But
Yeah.
like Lubbers strike zone was the smallest strike
Yeah.
zone anybody's ever had.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not afraid to admit that. Like, it wasn't biased. I wanted her to be so freaking good because just we bowled together, right?
Yeah.
You're not getting my low calls. If I thought it was low, normally I'd call it straight. I'd be like, no, cool, bring it up. She get pissed. She threw one right at my freaking toe. Like,
Yeah.
but like, I was very tough, like very tough on her, very tough. And because you knew me,
Yeah.
I didn't want anybody else to think that because
You were
I
going to give
knew
me
who you
anything.
are.
Yeah.
No, you got nothing from me. Nothing. I'm gonna be clear on this. 100% nothing. Zero zip zilch nada. If anything, you got screwed and you could have fought me all day, every day. And I'd be like, David,
Yep.
there it was, right? Like, and you would have been like, yeah, guys, Nick's a dick. That's what it is. And I'd be like, cool, that's 100% it. So, but all right.
Let's get back to our
Do you
Reddit
wanna-
question.
Say, do you want to stop this and restart Reddit? But
I mean, we could end this as one episode, but let's finish this one question.
yeah,
first.
let's do it.
So, my other big money thing,
Credit cards is first one.
find a bank or credit union that will give you interest
Okay.
that is beyond what you could get with just a regular savings account. So, like right now, savings accounts, if you use like Ally, is paying like, I don't know, 3 or 4%.
Way more. Way more.
Find something that's willing to give you, 5-6% if you can. And really, that's cyclical when it comes to the times that we're in. So,
Absolutely correct.
the crash of 08 and 09 raised interest rates so that, you could put your money in a credit union, let's say Lake Michigan, or even a bank, United Bank of Michigan, you could get 4%.
I want to be clear on this real quick.
Yeah.
Again, we're not financial advisors. Okay.
We're not professionals.
At all. We just have been around the block and studied things because we're nerds.
Yes.
And love to do it. When a bank is giving you 4 to 5% just to sit there, it's guaranteed, FDIC guaranteed to sit there. That means something fucked up is happening.
Correct.
Let me be clear on this. When a bank is giving you 4 or 5% to do nothing,
they need your money.
Correct. Right? Like, I can't be more clear on this. I can't be more specific. So my advice to you is be conservative.
Yep.
Understand, hey, this isn't risky times. This is capitalize on the good stuff. Somebody just did a video. I'm so sorry to all the listeners. I didn't watch it. They said, why is the 4% rule bad? I don't know what their reasoning is. I feel bad. But the average, right? So like the 4% rule, right, is you need to make 4% of interest on your principal. So if you have $1 million, 4% is $40,000.
Yep.
Now, if you withdraw that, you'll never touch the principal. So if you're guaranteed to make 4%, you'll never touch the principal. You'll have $1 million for the rest of your life. You live off of that 40K, right? Which is a normal average human salary, right? Some people are out there listening, hopefully, that make $100,000, $200,000. Like, you're not the average person. Please believe that. Which means you had enough money to invest that you're sitting at $5 million, which gives you $200,000 in, or whatever the hell it is, $20,000. Like, so over the course of time, like, you were going to make this. But when interest rates that a bank is going to give you to do nothing, you have no risk, zero anything.
Yeah, you're just making 4% over and over.
Just something fucked up is happening. Like, I understand I haven't done much in real estate this year because I'm scared. I'm not going to be afraid to admit that something big is happening. I'm very, very conservative.
We know what big is happening.
Yes.
We've come back to arms.
Dude, people are doing them.
Hand over fist.
100%.
Why?
Because they are not educated and didn't learn from their parents.
Correct.
Like,
and you're looking at these and you're like, okay, well, I can get 4% right now, but the market says it should be 6.5. So I'm gonna do this because I can refinance it in X number of years. Which again, this happened not now. It happened 4 years ago, and people took out an arm. And now we're staring at that 5-year mark, and people are like, "Oh, Well, I can renegotiate. Yeah, you're going to renegotiate at 6.5.
I'm gonna
So
be.
your payments are going up.
I haven't given this out to all of us. So anybody that's listening, you want free information, you want to figure out how the life is really done. LOOP.net.com.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
Nope.
right.
LOOPnet.com.
Yep. No.
LoopNet.
LOOP.net.
Yeah. No, it's loopnet.com.
Is it loopnet.com?
Yes, it's loopnet.com. Hold on. We're going to find this out because I want to be very clear and very specific on this. So you figured out
I'm looking.
loopnet.com.
I have no.
Nope, it is loopnet.
Dot-
LOOPNET.com. LOOPNET.com. Okay. I guarantee you didn't go look at this before this conversation happened because
You who? The people, the listeners, or me?
listeners, right?
Because I look at this all the time.
Because you and I share this
Correct.
information. I will give you
I'm
information.
looking for commercial properties right now.
Dave-
This is something I'm on.
David and I talked to each other today,
Yes,
right?
we
And,
did.
and honestly, like it's funny because like this is why
I was bouncing business ideas off of you.
100%, right? Because I respect the shit out of it because it's like, I don't know, but like, because I don't own a day to day like you, but my brain understands it because I was in your shoes.
Yep.
And yeah, your wife doesn't understand I was there. Okay, so like again, guys, God, we're going so far into off tangent. I was in this tangent, right? So I owned my real estate company. I owned a t-shirt company, graphics company that was direct to seller or buyer. And I worked a day job, right? So I learned so much about what it was like to go direct to seller, right? Direct to consumer, let's call it, right? Sorry, not seller, but like direct to consumer. Imported from China, did a bunch of things. But when it came to my t-shirt company, and so David and I would talk, and we were constantly, hey, like I actually understand this business. Yes, I did not become quote unquote successful every single month until the last month. I made money. I made a bunch of money. I made just as much money in my t-shirt company as I did at my current day job. At the time, I was making just as much money in my real estate as I was in my day job. So I had quote unquote 3 incomes. And so I said, look, I'm burning every part of my body. I'm burning everything. What do I get rid of? Do I get rid of my job, my t-shirt company, or my real estate? And I chose, hey, my day job gives me insurance. They cover me. They cover my family. They do the things I need. Thank you for them. Gentex, honestly, good job. My real estate was making it, and I knew that that was going to be where I wanted to be for a long period of time. And so I said, hey, I'm going to close my t-shirt company. And so I just did. I was like, hey, I'm not going out here to try to do anything crazy. And so my t-shirt company was just folded, right? Like I now make t-shirts for my daughter, but like nothing crazy. And so David respects the idea that the fact that I know what the hell I'm doing, I know how to run numbers, I know how to understand business. Like I'm a businessman. I'm not, dude, like okay, when it comes to coaching, I'll tell you I'm number one. When it comes to business, I'm not, right? I have so much to learn. I have can I learn more in
Humble.
coaching?
Humble.
Very much. Like, dude, I don't know many people at 35 years old that have done what I've done in my life. But that's really hard for me because I just don't know.
I sent a message to you and Mike the other day.
I say it's funny because you texted me at like 8:30 and I went through like 10 text messages and I kind of forgot yours. I called you at what, like 10 o'clock, and I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like
I mean, it happens.
But like I slept in. I'm not gonna lie, I slept in, dude. Like,
so I sent this message on
oh,
I don't know what day this is.
it's funny because when you text me and Mike, I read 50%.
So we were talking about wealth of billionaires. So Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and the federal minimum wage.
It's funny.
So-
I send you those things all the time.
Yeah.
But never look at your responses.
In 2012, Musk had 2 billion. In 2020,
up.
in 2024, he has 204 billion 500 million.
Is that it?
Bezos in 2012 had 18 billion 400 million. In 2024, he has 196 billion.
Because he got divorced.
Correct.
Look at
Correct.
2023, 2022.
Zuckerberg in 12 had 17 billion 500 million. In 2024, he has 170 billion 400 million.
All right.
And the federal minimum wage in 2012 was 725, and in 2024 it's 725. And Mike came back with, and most of those $7.25 people will still vote Republican because they think the rich will help them. And imagine if Bezos didn't get divorced. And I said, no shit. They think they have a chance to become Musk or Bezos, but they don't. For every Nick, there's 5 million Mikeys, maybe more.
I did see that little part.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. Because most people can't understand the population of the United States. Okay. So Dave,
336 million.
can we talk about this real quick?
Sure. What are we talking about? Does this need to be episode 2 or are we still good?
Did you follow my Facebook on your way here?
No.
So here
We
we
still
go.
have a couple things we have to finish
Yep,
this up.
here we go.
Meet Ruth Gottesman, a retired professor at the Albert
seen this.
Einstein College of Medicine. Since she joined the school in 1968, Gottesman, along with her late husband David, a successful Wall Street executive, established several major philanthropic projects. But her biggest gift yet was revealed today.
I'm happy to share with you that starting in August this year, the Albert Einstein College of Medicine will be tuition free.
That is phenomenal.
Donated $1 billion.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So here's what bothers me. Like, okay, so you want, and this is how I see things.
Okay.
You want instant gratification. Fucking hate on Jeff Bezos all you want. For now. Mark Zuckerberg, billionaire.
Mhm.
His family has vowed to donate 90% of their fucking family wealth when he passes. They want it until he's gone. After that, he's gone. This fucking billionaire family just paid for fucking everybody for eternity. For billionaires. Okay, so the change that's coming, dude, we're not gonna see it. Your daughter will see the end of it, but dude, my daughter,
Let me ask you something.
my daughter, she's gonna see this.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
You have $100 billion.
That's not $100 billion fucking family.
Let me ask you. You
Yeah.
have $100 billion.
Yeah,
How much you need?
all of it.
No, bullshit.
All of it.
How much do you need?
All of it.
Bullshit.
All of it.
No, that's bullshit.
It's not.
No, it really fucking
Have you
is.
seen how big I am?
I do see how big you are, and that's still bullshit. 1,000,000 seconds is like 12 fucking days. 1,000,000,000 seconds is like 32
30
fucking years.
Correct.
How much do you really fucking need?
All of it.
Bullshit.
But the problem is, okay, so here's the thing that bothers me about that conversation.
Mhm.
Let's break it down. Did he own the company?
Sure.
No, he didn't. He didn't
What
fucking own
company?
this guy.
Oh, that guy?
The guy and the wife. The wife is amazing.
Okay.
Did he own the company?
I don't know.
No,
I don't know anything.
no,
about it.
motherfucker. He's a billionaire and didn't own the company. He could not control what the fuck somebody else owns. He became a billionaire because he fucking worked his ass off. Sure,
No.
might have got lucky to get to fucking whatever. The fact
He
is,
was an investment banker.
exactly.
He
It's
got
not his fucking fault. No,
He
no,
had money. and
no,
he got lucky.
no. He fucking worked his ass
Bullshit.
off to get to the top. You and I both know this. Who the fuck is calling me? Yes or no?
Scam call? Yes.
All right, let's do this. Hello, it's Bucks and Bruce.
Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm calling you on the behalf of Financial Help for Seniors. How are you doing today?
We don't want this.
They're great.
Great.
Come on, Chris. Fuck you, Chris.
Chris, stick with us. Chris.
Chris hung up. Fuck him.
All right, sorry guys.
No, I want to know before we need to do a second episode.
We will.
Hang on.
I was trying to
I
leave
want-
here at like 7:00.
Yeah,
and
that's
now
not
we're-
happening. So, what
No.
did you think my answer was going to be to your question
No,
of?
you need to keep going. So, are we gonna do a second episode? Yes or no?
Yes, we'll do a second episode. We're gonna get into our Reddit stuff, but I want to know what
This was the Reddit question.
it is a Reddit question, but we were answering it on this show. So let's finish this question. What did you think my answer was going to be?
So the question was, what is your best financial life hack? And I thought we would agree. I thought both of us would say pay yourself, whether it's pay your mortgage off early or make sure you're investing in yourself, whether it's IRA, 401k, things like that.
See, and I agree with those things, but when I look at a hack, to me, that's not a hack. That's just a way of life. My feeling is
I completely agree. And we're gonna go into that.
Yeah.
So let's go into it.
So you ready to start episode 2?
Let's stop restart.
So we're gonna you of those on Twitch, hang out because we're gonna be right back in a second here.
I love this episode. I
Nick-
really did.
Nick is gonna go get another drink.
Fact.
You've dialed in.
To Box and Brews, you might hear something
You can use.
like tips on your cash or tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use.
smarts of these
Because
stuff.
they know the brews.
And they know the box, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, because shit's not funny.
Save yourself some
Beer money. Bucks.
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
brews.
and brews.
Brews.
Bucks and brews.